Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are having a blast, B-L-A-S-T, with alcohol inks and Yupo paper. So if you've been watching recently, you've been hearing the sheer envy in my voice when I talked about alcohol inks. Well, one of my wonderful subscribers, Nichole, decided to extend her generous heart and send me some alcohol inks that I could play with and lots of supplies. So thank you, Nichole. This video is dedicated to you. I am starting off with playing around. Now, I did play around a little bit beforehand, off screen or off camera with my daughter. But I'm going to show you in super warp speed what happens with these alcohol inks. And honestly, I think that is the most fun way to view it. Because it's cool to do it in person, but when you see it in like 400 times the speed, or 400, the number 400 set, it's like, whoa, that is amazing. Okay, I know, listen, if my excited voice already annoys you, you might want to mute me, because I think it just gets out of control. All right, so I am going to take to my next paper here, and I actually put down the alcohol solution first, and I wanted to see what kind of effect I would get with that. So really what happened was it kind of just lent to like super quick mixing. And so that's really, it wasn't too much of a difference. This one, on the third one, I am going to make a circle. So my intent here is to just add color on top of color with alcohol solution on color, blah, 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 on and on and on. And this is what I'm doing, and you're going to watch it in super speed. So I see this come out, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, reminded me of space. It reminded me of, like, black hole. I don't know why. That's just very random, I am aware. But this was a lot of fun. So I just kept going. I mean, that is the coolest thing about this paper. It just absorbed, or I don't even know if it absorbed or sat on top, but it didn't, like, get all yucky and gross, and it just kept working. And I let it dry for a little bit, and then I'd go back and it would still react. So anyway, here are some of my panels. Some were before when I was playing with my daughter, and then I'm going to show you hers. Hers is right here. She actually picked up all hers after she poured a bunch of ink on it and just swished it around. And when I cut those out separately, wait till you see. Oh, so pretty. And then there's my crazy circles. I don't know what I was doing. That was in the beginning, because I'm such a pro now. Right. Okay. So that's the cool circle one in its finished product. Now, I took a bunch of dies out of my stash and decided to use them. And so I cut down a whole bunch of different things here. I have circle dies. I have balloons. I used rectangles, mermaids, butterflies, and a rainbow. And so I'm sitting here looking at all of this beautifulness going, what am I going to do? So I just took it one thing at a time, and I got to work. My first card is going to be using this Pink and Mane Hedgehugs little guy holding a balloon, and he actually inspired, obviously, from what he's holding, this card to make some of that paper into balloons, the heart balloons. So I'm going to stamp them out, and I am actually going to wipe away the parts that I don't want to stamp. So I'm using Memento ink. I don't show the coloring because the video was long enough, but I am going to show you my little cloud effect here. I have a Lawn Fawn stitched border die for these clouds, and so I just cut one out with some paper and used it as a stencil. So I'm going to go around my paper here with some Distress Oxide, that's broken china, and I'm just going to make some clouds. Once that's finished, I am going to cut him down with some Lawn Fawn rectangle die, and then I'm going to cut out 3 balloons from some leftover of the alcohol paper and that I made. And I am just going to pop those up dimensionally, and they're going to be all different levels. So I'll show you that right here. And you can see they just are beautiful. All the stitching matches in the card, and then I just topped him off with Sending Hedgehugs, a little sentiment there. I used some Spectrum Noir on that sentiment as well, but look at how gorgeous those balloons are. Oh, okay. Next card, I took out my no, that's not what they're called, Gansai Tombi watercolors. I believe this is called Starry something. It'll be listed below. And I'm using the gold in there. So I wanted to have a nice soft background for a couple of them. And then this one I took out. These are my daughters. I bought my daughters some watercolors. And I, quote, store them in my craft area. Don't tell her. But this one has purple. And mine doesn't have purple. So we share here in this family. So I'm going to heat set those, make sure I dry them up real nice. And I'm going to eventually cut these down to use for my cards. But before I do that, over the blue and purple one, I'm going to use the stencil, which kind of looks like waves, putting some Versamark ink in there, smushing it in there, and then adding some really sparkly, glittery Judikins powder. I took out an old Hero Arts set. If you're a fan of their monthly kits, you'll see this one looks familiar to you. And I'm going to just stamp out some gold seaweed and coral on the other one. And then once I get all that stamped out, I'm using Delicata gold ink, but that wasn't enough shine for me. So I said to myself, you're going to have to pull out some embossing powder and make this a little bit of a wow card. And so I did just that. I got my gold embossing powder out, and this ink is pigment, so it was already wet. It didn't dry very quickly, and it was able to pick up that gold embossing powder. So once I get that all laid down, I'm going to heat set those, and they're going to shine up super beautifully. All right, now I have all of this heat set. I'm going to cut them down into panels. I cut this one out of a heart. I'm going to add some thanks dies to them because I always need thank you cards. And then I'm going to add my mermaid. And voila, there we have some finished cards. Easy, very easy to do actually. All right, it's amazing what you can do with some dies and some watercolor. All right, so moving on to the next one. I get to play with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and I'm going to add very haphazardly to my cardstock here in 3 different colors. I felt like these 3 complemented the alcohol inks that I used. And I'm going to take a water brush, and then I'm just going to kind of mix that up. Funny story, you don't see the humongous mess I made. I thought I was going to show you, but I guess I deleted it beforehand. But I pull out the spray that I had in a Hero Arts kit, and I decided to spray it directly onto my project. This project right here. When I did that, see, this is the alternative. Pull this out and tap, tap, tap. That's very clean and controlled. But the other way, when I sprayed the nozzle, it went all over my desk. And so I'm going to show you up there. See how it got on the project up there in the corner. Anyway, I made it work. So this is the cleaned up version, and I am going to stamp and heat emboss a sentiment. Now I got Miss Sparkle's little stamp set here from Joann Fabrics for $1.99, I think. And I'm using my Misty, and I am using my Embossing Buddy powder bag. And then I am going to Versamark ink that. Once I get that, I am going to pull out, went to Michael's the other day, and I got, it was buy one, get one half off, and I got those 2 embossing powders. Gorgeous. So right here, I decided to go for the brightest one. I think the other one probably would have matched a little bit better, but look at this sparkle and shine. Oh, so pretty. And so now I'm just going to add with some multimedia matte my butterfly, and that is it for this card. Finished. Done. So I love that one. That is just makes me happy. Okay, I told you my voice was going to be excited in this video. All right, so now we're moving on already to the next card. This one, it's flipped over, but this one is alcohol inked, and I am adding multimedia matte all over. Now, my crazy self decided it was a good idea to make a shaker card with all these holes. I think it was a good idea, but boy, was it a little time consuming. I bit off more than I could chew on this one. So how am I going to get foam to pop up? I'm going to actually cut a piece of fun foam with this die. Yes, that is insane. And so I pop out all those holes. I get it all ready to go. I'm going to add multimedia matte again, and I'm going to put my fun foam to match up. You should be so grateful for video editing, because I think we'd probably be here till the weekend if we watched me do this in real time. Now I'm going to cut out my background that's going to show behind. I'm going to take out these wonderful sequins from KRAFTGALI. I am a design team member from KRAFTGALI. I don't think I shared that with everybody yet. This might be my outing here. I am. I'm very excited to be part of KRAFTGALI. They're wonderful, and their shop is amazing. I find that everything is usually $1 to $2 cheaper than everywhere else. I get it. And the customer service is amazing. And it's a wonderful team to work with. So anyway, back to the card. I am sprinkling in some of that amazing sequins that you can get from KRAFTGALI. And it's stars, it's sequins, it's all kinds of goodness. And now I'm going to add this to one of my other pieces, and I'm going to place something heavy on that. I let this dry for quite a while because of all the liquid against stuff that really isn't liquid friendly. I don't think acetate and fun foam, I don't usually have a good time with that in liquid, but I've set something on it for a long time. It worked. And there's the finished card. So that one I kind of put off to the side, cattywampus, as some people in the South say. And now the card is finito. All right. Taken to my tailored expressions, what better sentiment to put on a balloon than up, up, and away? This stamp set is so adorable. It is Dr. Seuss, and it's all encouraging, and it's the places you'll go. It's just wonderful. Side note, have you read that book lately? I read it recently, and it is all things leadership. It's kind of my job at work. All things leadership from like day one. You're teaching people how to live a good life. So go check that book out. It's amazing. And there's the finished balloon card. That's a nice encouraging card for someone who has maybe reached a goal or is headed towards a goal. All right, so all those crazy circles that came out of that one die cut, here they are in all of their glory. And I am adding them with my jewel picker and some multimedia matte. And I go through and finish up that. Then I'm going to take my heart die with some fun foam in the same size, and I'm going to pop up my heart on top of my project. That's going to give some fun dimension. It's going to really set that heart out from the background. And this glitter cardstock, who doesn't love glitter cardstock, right? So I got that at AC Moore, I think, in the big 12x12s. Okay, so I'm going to add my Miss You, because I pulled out my Love Nichole dies. And I'm going to add Miss You to that one, and that will finish up this card. See that blue specks? See all the blue specks there? Yep, that was a mistake. All right, here we go, moving on to the next one. I'm going to use some of that wonderful confetti sequence again, and I'm going to use some multimedia matte. I'm going to slap some multimedia matte straight down onto the part of the rainbow that clouds would be. And then I'm just going to pour over my sequence. I did this in the last video with some gems, and I thought, why not? Let's do it again. Who doesn't love sequence clouds, right? So I'm just going to kind of place them and press them down as much as I can. Your fingers are going to get a little bit gluey, but I'm still alive, so no big deal. And once I do that, I'm going to shake off all the excess. Finish that up. It's going to be a clean and simple card, if you can call that, with all this chunky sequins hanging off of it, but it stays pretty well. And then I just put the congrats down and put some sparkle and glossy accents over the congrats. And that finished up that card. That will do it for all these cards. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed watching me play with these alcohol inks. Thank you again, Nichole, for your generosity. It just warms my heart. Such a wonderful thing for you to have done. And hopefully I brought some inspiration and some joy to you all. I will list everything I used below. Don't forget to hit subscribe so that we can craft some more together. And I will see you in the next video. If you want to see more still shots of these, you can go head over to my blog. That's it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.